how to build a kingdom environment in schools. Do you think the classroom is a harmless place? Do you think schools are neutral spaces? You're wrong. Schools don't just teach math, literature, or English. They shape souls. They are places where ideologies are imprinted, and if the kingdom doesn't claim that space, Babylon will rule it. Brothers and sisters, I'm not here to give a lecture about education. I'm here to awaken you to this truth. The classroom is a territory, and every territory has a climate. That climate either comes from the kingdom or from Babylon. There is no gray area. Do you think schools are just places where kids go to learn? No, they are cultural battlegrounds. Every day, a generation is being trained, not just to know, but to think, not just to work, but to belong to a system. And my question to you is, who is writing the training program for that generation? Who is controlling the climate in that classroom? Who is shaping the image of character, gender, and purpose for your youth? We will never raise a kingdom generation if we keep sending our children to be educated under Babylon's system without equipping them with a kingdom mindset. Daniel 1:3 tells us. The king ordered that some of the Israelites be brought to the palace, young men without blemish, intelligent, knowledgeable, and capable, to be taught the literature and language of the Chaldeans for 3 years. Right? Do you see it? This is a classic strategy. Select the young, select the bright, select the potential, then re-educate them. But Daniel and his 3 friends refused to be assimilated by that system. They lived in Babylon, learned Babylon's language, studied Babylon's culture, but carried a kingdom spirit. They preserved their identity in a foreign environment, and it was they, not the Babylonians, who influenced the government, the king, and the policies. I ask you, what are your children learning? What are kingdom teachers teaching? Who is defining normal in that classroom? Who owns the climate? If you can't answer, then Babylon has already claimed the classroom. Don't be deceived. The education system is not neutral. It shapes generations. And if we don't plant the kingdom there, the enemy will plant Babylon. In the next section, I'll show you. Education is not about imparting information. It's a process of colonizing minds. It shapes identity. It molds mindsets. And the next question will be, are you educating or are you restoring the image of the kingdom in people? Don't walk away. The next part will unveil an even greater truth. You can fill a child's head with facts, but if you don't shape their identity, the world will claim the rest. Brothers and sisters, now that you've recognized the classroom as a territory, you must understand that the most powerful weapon in that territory is not textbooks, not blackboards, not exams. It's education. But I'm not talking about education as the world defines it. I'm not talking about memorizing formulas or passing tests. I'm talking about something deeper. Education is the program of colonizing the mind. And let me make this clear. Babylonian education is the process of instilling ideas to create obedient citizens. Kingdom education is the process of restoring the image of the kingdom in individuals, so they live according to their original created purpose. You see, not all education is good. A child can graduate as valedictorian and still become a tool serving an unkingdom system. A student can earn a PhD but live in confusion about identity gender, and purpose. Why? Because modern education teaches how, but never why. It produces skills, but doesn't unlock identity. It feeds the mind, but starves the spirit. Proverbs 22:6 says, train up a child in the way he should go, even when he is old. He will not depart from it. Notice, it doesn't say teach them what they should know, but train them in the way they should go. That way is a direction for life. Its identity is kingdom thinking. Teachers, if you don't teach students who they are meant to be, someone else will teach them to be anyone. If you don't plant the kingdom's image in them, the world will paint their minds with broken, confused, and distorted images. Imagine a school where students don't just learn for grades, they learn purpose. Teachers don't just deliver lessons, they sow vision. The curriculum doesn't just teach human history, it unveils God's eternity. Think that's impossible? Look at Daniel. They taught him about Babylon, but he lived as a kingdom citizen. They changed his name, but they couldn't change his identity. Why? Because whoever controls identity controls destiny. The question is, which system are you educating under? The Babylonian system creating tools to serve the system? Or the kingdom system raising leaders to liberate generations? Don't work in education if you don't know what you're building. Don't send your children to school if you don't know what's being colonized in their minds. In the next part, I'll take you to a deeper reality. How can one person, whether teacher, student, or parent, become a kingdom climate carrier in the midst of a Babylonian classroom? Because you don't need to change the entire system sometimes. You just need to change the climate you bring. And I'll show you how to do it right where you stand. Don't miss it. You don't need to stand at a podium to educate a generation. You just need to carry the right climate into the room you enter. We've seen it clearly. Education is not neutral. It's a tool for colonization. And if Babylon controls the school environment, we need something greater than degrees, titles, or policies. We need people who carry the kingdom's climate into the classroom. Brothers and sisters, hear me. You may not be the principal. You may not write the curriculum. You may not control the school's budget. But if you are a kingdom climate carrier, you can change the atmosphere of that classroom. Matthew 5:14-16 says, you are the light of the world. People do not light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. The school is the house where a generation lives every day. If you've been lit up, don't hide yourself. If you carry the kingdom's light, don't put it under the basket of fear, religion, or silence. Are you a kingdom teacher? Teach lessons with a spirit of heavenly creativity. Are you a kingdom student? Do your assignments. Play sports. Talk with friends with the demeanor of a kingdom citizen. Are you a kingdom parent? Don't just focus on grades. Pray, counsel, influence other parents and the school. You don't need to do something big to have a wide impact. You just need to be present with the right climate. Imagine you're an air conditioner bringing heaven's climate into a Babylonian room. You don't shout, argue, or force. You just adjust the spiritual climate by how you behave, how you speak, how you handle conflict, how you encourage students, how you praise, correct? And inspire. And then people start to wonder, Why is your class different from others? Why does my child come home talking about positive things? Why does that person have influence? Even without a title, that's kingdom influence. That's salt. That's light. Remember this, you don't need to change the system, you just need to change the climate where you stand. Daniel didn't reform Babylon, but he influenced Babylon's king. Joseph didn't become president, but he ran the nation. Esther didn't make laws, but her prayers and timely position saved the people. You can do the same. And if you're wondering, how can we strategize kingdom influence in an education system dominated by Babylon? Stay tuned for the final part. I'll lay out a clear strategy to reclaim the education system, not through resistance, but through influence. Not through violence, but through kingdom principles. Because the ground is ready. The people are here. The question is, who will dare to start? Are you ready? The next part will give you that strategy. The education system is a pillar that shapes civilization. If you abandon it, you've surrendered the generation to the enemy. Au revoir. We've talked about the battlefield. We've identified the weapon. We've named the kingdom climate carriers. Now I'm giving you a strategy because the kingdom doesn't operate on emotions. The kingdom operates on principles, laws, and strategic plans. Brothers and sisters, God doesn't call us to run from schools. He doesn't call us to criticize the education system. He calls us to reclaim it with kingdom strategy. Write this down. We don't need to oppose the system. We need to plant kingdom seeds within it. Isaiah 2:3 says, in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's house will be established above the mountains, and all nations will stream to it. They will say, come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, that he may teach us his ways. Do you hear that? Generations will flock to where heavenly teaching is found. But it won't happen unless you establish the Lord's mountain in the school. The question is, how? Strategy 1, rebuild kingdom influence among teachers. Organize prayer and support groups for kingdom-minded teachers. Train them in kingdom mindset, not just skills, but a heavenly vision for education. Develop mentoring programs, kingdom people, training kingdom people. Strategy 2, parents as kingdom ambassadors. Build communities of parents who pray and align with kingdom values. Influence school policies, curricula, and events from the parent side. Join parent committees with a kingdom mindset, not to seize power, but to sow values. Strategy 3, build kingdom education organizations or platforms. Produce supplementary content, books, animations, and programs rooted in kingdom thinking. Develop kingdom clubs for students unlocking potential leadership and kingdom character. Train future leaders from elementary to university. Mindset, stewardship, and purpose. Strategy 4, create kingdom alliances in public and private systems. Connect kingdom teachers in your area into a support network. Propose programs for life skills, anti-bullying, and character development rooted in kingdom culture. Infuse kingdom principles subtly through mainstream channels, arts, sports, career guidance. Hear me, you cannot change a system if you're not present in it. I mean, God didn't call you to flee Egypt. He sent you to stand before Pharaoh. God didn't call you to avoid schools. He wants you to rule in them. You don't need 100 people to start. You just need one kingdom teacher, one kingdom parent, one kingdom student. Because Daniel was one person, Joseph was one person, Esther was one person, but they had a kingdom spirit, and that made entire empires. Listen, now let's close. No more asking. Who will do it? Declare to yourself, I will bring the kingdom climate to the classroom where I teach. I will raise my child as a kingdom citizen, not just a high-achieving student. I will plant kingdom seeds in places no one notices. Because what you sow today will become the kingdom system that tomorrow's generation will learn from, live in, and lead from. Don't be educated. The effective, being well educated is not enough. Become a soul trainer, a school transformer, a builder of kingdom environments right in the heart of Babylon. And you don't need anyone's permission. You've already been commissioned by the King. Start today. Start with you. Start in that classroom.